President Mahama joins chiefs and people of Ketekrachi to mark Hachi Yam Festival. Government increases producer price for cocoa. Hello, good evening. It's time for News Hour live on GBC24 and GTV. My name is Soyoko Kwakuchre and I am Ofeyua Dako. President John Mahama has hinted that Northern Volta and Western regions are among the geographical spaces where new regions could be carved out. When he joined the chiefs and the people of Ketekrachi to mark the Hachi Yam Festival, it became obvious that the government's pledge to create 5 new regions was in response to requests by the chiefs and some prominent people.
And the people of Volta North envisage a region for the area to be called OT region.
Ketekrachi celebrates the Hachi Yam Festival, a place noted for yam cultivation and fishing. The chiefs want Volta North be separated from the Greater Volta region and called OT region. The Volta Regional Minister, Madam Helen Ntoso, and the National Security Coordinator, Mr. Yao Donko, both citizens of Krachi, were there to welcome President John Mahama and his delegation. Notable towns around Ketekrachi are Nkwanta, KJB and Dambai. They are all being connected with first-class roads to open up the area to what it is noted for, commerce. But the chiefs called for 3 things: a reliable source of potable water, rehabilitation of Ketekrachi town roads, and a hostel for nurses and midwifery training school located there. All these steps, the authorities indicated, were already being taken to address the issues. The president made 3 key points here. First, the revert to trainee nurses allowances for institutions not yet covered by the Students' Loan Trust Fund.
Student loan scheme no so. Yes, allowances no so for the meantime.
The president said the areas where new regions are envisaged will be subjected to a referendum for final approval after due processes have been followed.
Constitution said about creation of regions no. Now yeah NDC for manifesto no you say you share regions no you bet me at beye enum aka ho. If you say we share northern region almost a region no so nti omunya yanka empire region no miedum. We share OT region amakan, we share western region for ne other regions bebre wo ho pese omote region no for eka ho. Nti ya ka say the regions no free do ekopem do num 50 na akebeye ye say na be ya will bring government closer to the people.
He said farmers' centers to be created in districts will assist farmers with farming implements and financial credit. The chiefs congratulated the president for what they called a good speech delivered at the just ended UN General Assembly in New York.
In other stories, the Ghana Commercial Agriculture Project of the Ministry of Food and Agriculture is far advanced with its arrangements to increase the nation's rice cultivation through public-private partnership. With the objective of decreasing rice importation, JCAP has secured more than 400,000 hectares of fertile land at the Nasia Nabugo inland valleys in the northern region for commercial rice cultivation. During a tour of some rice farms in the northern region, the Minister for Food and Agriculture, Alhaji Muhammad Muniru Lumuna, said JCAP's major priority is to promote all year-round rice cultivation for local consumption and export.
The rice sector is gradually playing a visible role in the national economy of Ghana due to increasing dietary shift, particularly in the urban centers. However, current output of the country's rice production sector is unable to meet this increasing local demand. It is estimated that more than 70% of the rice consumed in Ghana is imported. According to industry experts, given Ghana's favorable agroecological conditions and other productive resources, the country can produce more than 300,000 tons of rice yearly for local consumption. The national coordinator of GCAP, Charles Nonu, is of the opinion that Ghana has great potential to expand its present rice output if its vast area of inland valleys and swamps are efficiently exploited.
Our object is to see how we can not only bring tunnel and via schemes back to what they used to be or they were constructed originally, but also modernize them so that we can become much more effective and then useful to the farmers, so that we can have more food security and even have access to exports.
Alhaji Zakaria is a beneficiary of GCAP's intervention. He says one of the major problems faced by rice farmers in this part of the country is the unpredictable rainfall patterns.
The change now is a plus as far as the community is concerned, because even with in the absence of GCAP later, they can still be here with this facility and they will be able to crop, and water management is simpler here, looking at the bonds. In those days, there were no bonds.
Bonding involves carrying out surveys to determine the elevation of lands under cultivation, plotting, and designing ridge-like structures with waterways. This is to prevent soil erosion and enable farmers to control the volume of water on their farms.
So that if there's excess water, then you know how to control it.
As a Government of Ghana project, the Ghana Commercial Agriculture Project, GCAP, is a private sector-oriented and demand-driven project financed with a loan of $100 million from the World Bank and a grant of $45 million from the United States Agency for International Development, USAID. On this tour of some of the rice farms in the northern and upper east regions, the Minister for Food and Agriculture, Alhaji Mohammed Muniru Limuna, reiterated that GCAP's major priority is to promote all year-round rice cultivation for local consumption and export.
When you look at our farm service center, there's going to be a unit for buyback. We'll institute something to make sure that we take the produce from the farmers and we will allocate them to all government institutions that need to take. We must kill this idea of procurement. Everybody wants to do procurement. So for instance, if you're an institution like a school, you need 100 bucks. They don't need to give you money from finance. We must be able to allocate the rice to you.
The ultimate project beneficiaries are smallholder farmers who will avail themselves to new income-generating opportunities through formal arrangements with nucleus farmers in commercial agricultural ventures. Abdulhai Mumin, GBC24, DRA.
The area head of the Church of Pentecost in Kumasi Asokwa, Apostle Eko Beduwood, has warned ministers of the gospel who claim God has revealed to them the winner of the 2016 elections to desist from the act. He says Ghana is democratic and not theocratic like the Israelites of old, where leaders are nominated instead of allowing the will of the people through the ballot box. During a visit to the Asokwa Pentecost International Worship Center by Vice President Kwesi Misa Arthur, Apostle Beduwood described such preachers as hijackers of the gospel for their selfish ends, who must be ignored by Ghanaians.
The Pentecost International Worship Center at Kumasi Asokwa came alive when Vice President Kwesi Misa Arthur joined the faithful on Sunday. The icing on the cake was Deputy Ashanti Regional Minister Andy Okra, who took over the drums to do what he did in his formative years. Sermon as rendered by the Asokwa area head of the Church of Pentecost, Apostle Eko Beduwood, hinged on election of leaders, comparing the biblical days and contemporary democracies, while he asked Ghanaians to saturate the political discourse with ideas instead of insults, he also advised ministers of the gospel to desist from misleading the people through false prophecies on election outcomes.
Those making noise and saying the Lord has spoken to desist from hijacking our democracy. There is a system we have laid down for electing our leaders, and people are trying to hijack the system and confusing the minds of the people. Let the Lord speak through the ballot box using the power of all qualified voters. God has said, and so many things that they are saying in the air, and sometimes if you are a politician and you are not mature in the Lord, it shakes you. But I thank God that in many of our political parties, especially seated before me, are men and women in politics who know God and God knows them. Seasoned men who are not frightened by charlatans.
He also expressed admiration for the vice president for not separating his faith from his practice.
If an economy should grow, the morality of the personalities are very, very, very important. And people who fail to engage their faith in their daily life disappoint us so much. The youth need a role model as a mentor to guide us into the future. And you, Your Excellency, you are the admiration of many.
Mr. Arthur asked Christians to pray without ceasing for peace and development of the nation.
It is not us, it is God who directs us, and we have to work to his ultimate good. So I've come here in all modesty, hope that our practice in politics, our practice in life, the way we conduct ourselves would be a lesson to many people, and that many of us Christians here will also, in our workplaces, in our family lives, in everything that we do, know that we're living this thing for the greater glory of God, and it's not for us. That without him, we would not be where we are.
The Church of Pentecost says it will continue to preach and make peace this election year as its contribution to growing the nation's democracy. GBC24, Asokwa.
As the elections draw closer, leaders of political parties and activists have been admonished to speak on issues that seek to address social ills rather than trading insults and engaging in political attacks. The Bishop of the Western West Africa Episcopal District of the AME Zion Church, Right Reverend Dr. Hilia Dogbe, made these comments at an induction ceremony at the AME Zion Church in Accra.
The AME Zion Church, in its more than 150 years existence in West Africa, has witnessed the election of a Ghanaian academic and author, Right Reverend Dr. Hilard Dela Dogbe, as the first indigenous resident bishop. He is the author of Alcoholism in the African Family, a Christian Perspective, and the Church and Alcoholism in Ghana, a practical theological interpretation. Right Reverend Dr. Dogbe will have jurisdiction over the AME Zion churches in Ghana, Togo, Cote d'Ivoire, and Liberia, which constitute Western West Africa Episcopal District. Over the years, the bishops of the church reside in the USA and visited the 4 countries about 4 times in a year to perform some administrative duties. Right Reverend Dr. Dogbe, who was elected in July in the US, is now a member of the 12-member Board of Bishops of the Church, which is the executive unit and provides leadership to the AME Zion Church globally. His induction was performed by the President of the Board of Bishops, Right Reverend Kenneth Monray, at the Agri Memorial AME Zion Church at Mamprobi. The newly inducted bishop charged churches in Ghana to rise up and pray for the country for God to give Ghana a divine outcome in the December election.
Corporate institutions continue to donate towards the 32nd National Farmers' Day celebrations. Exim Guarantee Company and the Caleb Ghana Limited are the latest to donate to the Ministries of Food and Agriculture and Fisheries and Agriculture Development. Exim Guarantee donated items worth 5,000 Ghana cedis and presented a check for 3,000 Ghana cedis, whilst Caleb Ghana donated items worth 4,000 Ghana cedis and a check for 10,000 Ghana cedis. The Deputy Minister for Food and Agriculture, Dr. Al-Hassan Yakubu, commended the two institutions and encouraged other organizations to emulate the gesture.
Welcome back in politics this evening. Vice President Kwesi Arthur's 4-day tour of the Ashanti region took him to Ebenezer Miracle Worship Center in Kumasi. The founder of the church, Professor Ebenezer Dakwayadom, asked Ghanaians to consider not only infrastructural development but also the tiring character of the president and his vice and renew their mandate come December 7.
Though many people flock the Ebenezer Miracle Worship Center Church at Ahenema Kokobeng, a suburb of Kumasi, for miracles, the arrival of Vice President Kwesi Arthur and his entourage saw the church coming alive once again. The sermon was a rehash of the revelation through Isaiah the prophet on the end to Ezekiel's life, but upon crying to the Lord God, he had mercy and prolonged Ezekiel's life. This, according to Prophet Adakwa Iyadom, was the story of the NDC to which Vice President Kwesi Arthur was an asset. Vice President Kwesi Arthur asked for prayers for the country now and after the December polls.
Ezeba Sante ite Yankopon Oba Pam Oni Efigana Yankopon Nara Oba Pam Otan Efigana na other prayer Odapa Ana Eyenya Sundwe Ogana Abaya Yebotui Yertu na Yewe Ghana Yafaya Tampa Yefra. Yempaya Yerbo, then Yamina no Sihen, no Tahin Papa from Ghana. Then there went this thing. Yempaya there, Amayan and him with the Ghana president. Tianan, I think,
the church prayed for the government, its leadership, the judiciary, police, legislature, and the nation at large. Nto Bibini Nto, GBC24, Kumasi.
The Progressive People's Party (PPP) says it is heading to court to sue the Electoral Commission for contempt over its decision to accept their flag bearers' filing fee despite an injunction prohibiting that action. The PPP filed a suit at the High Court earlier seeking an injunction to prevent the Commission from receiving the nominations in protest of what they describe as high filing fees set by the EC for aspirants. In our earlier bulletin, a private legal practitioner, Mr. Eliklim Agbemava, told us some of the legal implications of the EC PPP issue.
The case is pending in court and we are not supposed to make comments prejudicial to the case. But what I would say is that, normally you know, in injunctions, when a party is asking for an interlocutory injunction, it is for the compliance of all the parties in the case. It is not for the compliance of just the defendant. So I would say that PPP was supposed to also comply with the injunction by not doing anything that will prejudice the case. Yes, the impression she got from the conduct of the PPP may be right, because if somebody takes you to court for a particular issue and the person comes back and acts in a way that will make you believe that they are no longer interested in the issue, then you are entitled to follow that impression that they are creating. I think I agree with the EC's chairman. I wouldn't say they are both in contempt. I would say that the matter has been rendered academic. I wouldn't say they are both in contempt, because the court in this case, you know, in this civil matter, will not force both parties to litigate. So if both parties do not want to litigate, the court will let both parties go back home. So I think that what has happened may have rendered the matter, you know, an academic, you know, exercise. We have to wait for the High Court to decide, you know, for that, because the High Court may decide to proceed based on its own judgment, you know, of the actions taken by the parties. But from where I think that the issues have been complicated by the PPP itself, you know, and not the issue.
My name is Morris Ogbete. Let's do business. Good news for cocoa farmers, as the new producer price for cocoa is 7,600 Ghana cedis per metric ton. The new price, according to the Produce Price Review Committee, took effect from Saturday, 1st October 2016. The new price represents 11.76% over last season's figure of 6,800 Ghana cedis per metric ton.
The decision for a new producer price for cocoa was taken at a meeting of the Producer Price Review Committee held in Accra on Saturday. The meeting considered a number of factors affecting cocoa production on both the local and international markets. Issues discussed include government desire to propel production of the commodity to a certain national target in the short term, and the need to motivate cocoa farmers to increase their production levels while attracting particularly the youth into the sector. The margin of increment in the producer price is against the backdrop of a not too impressive world prices for cocoa in recent times. Announcing the new price of 7,600 Ghana cedis per metric ton of the commodity compared with the 6,800 Ghana cedis offered for the same quantity of cocoa during the last season, a Deputy Minister for Finance, Mr. Kesela Tuforsen, said Ghana now offers a better price than her neighbor, Côte d'Ivoire.
The Producer Price Review Committee has therefore reviewed upwards the producer price of cocoa from 6,800 Ghana cedis per ton to 7,600 Ghana cedis per ton for 2016-2017 cocoa season.
Mr. Atuforsen also announced the official opening of the 2016-2017 cocoa season and directed all licensed buying companies to adhere strictly to the new producer price, which translates into 475 Ghana cedis per kilogram of cocoa beans. Speaking to GBC24, some of the licensed buying companies, the chief farmer and a 19-year-old cocoa farmer, expressed satisfaction with the margin of increase in the producer price and hoped that the gesture would motivate cocoa farmers to increase their production levels.
And still in business, the Bank of Ghana has announced it will transfer its 44% shares in the National Investment Bank to the government. According to the Deputy Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Mr. Millicent Na, the central bank is no longer interested in holding shares in the investment bank, hence its decision to deliver the 44% shares. The government will then look for a strategic partner to run the operations of the National Investment Bank.
The National Investment Bank, NIB, was the first development bank in Ghana to promote and strengthen rapid industrialization in all sectors of the Ghanaian economy. NIB now operates as a universal bank with special focus on development and commercial banking activities. The government owns 56% of shares in NIB. The Bank of Ghana holds the other 44%. The total valuation of the bank's assets was approximately 878.9 million Ghana cedis, with shareholders' equity of 88.1 million Ghana cedis as at 2011. NIB currently has a total of 44 branches across the country. However, the Bank of Ghana says they do not want to hold on to its 40% stake in the bank. Millicent Na is the Deputy Governor of the Bank of Ghana.
As of January 2015, the Bank of Ghana, via the Financial Investment Trust, has shares of 44.0% in National Investment Bank and 48% in Agricultural Development Bank. To start with, the Bank of Ghana is seeking to transfer its shares in the National Investment Bank to government. That would then become the major shareholder in the bank. Subsequently, government would then transfer ownership through strategic investors to inject capital and improve efficiency in the bank. The transfer of these shares will ensure that Bank of Ghana's role is reduced to oversight responsibilities exclusively to ensure the integrity of the financial system.
Meanwhile, the NIB in its 2015 performance posted 120.11 million cedis, being net profit after tax, representing 51.27%, and paid a dividend of 0.06 pesos per share. It also saw 14.45% increase in total assets to 2,654 million Ghana cedis, and recorded customer deposit increase of 1,781 million cedis, representing 32.6%.
The Business Live on GBC24. Now, the initial investment in solar energy can be huge and the risk sometimes high. However, Morocco, a country in the north of Africa, has defied the odds, investing $3 billion in a solar plant earmarked to be the world's biggest when completed. The country, which has almost non-existent prospect in hydro energy, says the project forms part of a broad agenda to increase its energy mix to 46% reliance on renewable energy by 2030. Morocco currently imports about 90% of its energy needs. Now, to reverse this particular trend, the Moroccan kingdom decided to invest $3 billion in a project built to be the world's largest solar plant. Now, the project is in 3 phases. Phase 1 has been completed. It is providing 160 megawatts to some 6,800 Moroccans as we speak. Phase 2 will also bring on board 200 megawatts, whilst Phase 3 brings on board 150 megawatts. This particular project covers a land space of 3,000 hectares and is expected to bring on board 580 megawatts when it is completed. Morocco is located in the arid Sahara Desert. Although the North African country has a long coastline, it has limited inland water bodies, such as lakes from which to dam for hydropower. Morocco relies heavily on wind, solar and thermal energy at the moment. With this challenge in mind, the kingdom has intensified her search for renewable energy, aiming to ramp up its contribution to nearly half of the energy supply by 2030. The symbol of that source of energy is this solar plant, installed to provide electricity for more than 1 million homes by 2018. It is expected to cut down on carbon emissions by about 760,000 tons per year. It is positioned at a site near the city of Ouarzazate, famous for the shooting of films. This plant is expected to increase the share of renewable energy in total electricity generation
from 13% to 42%.
We plan to reach 2,000 megawatts of solar energy by 2020, and by 2030 we plan to reach 52% of the whole national capacity by renewables, including wind, solar and hydro.
Ironically, in most developing countries, including Ghana, where sunshine is abundant, solar has been on the back burner. Following a visit to the Maghreb region, GBC24 has been drawing comparisons between North and West Africa, especially why the West, which faces severe power shortages, has yet to tap solar energy. Prosper Ahmed Amukondo is the inspector in charge of electricity and renewable energy at Ghana's Energy Commission. He tells GBC24 why Ghana is not in the position to do solar on the large scale like Morocco.
One thing that people need to understand is the sunshine that we get has different components. We have what we call the direct normal irradiance, we have the diffuse horizontal irradiance, and the global horizontal irradiance. And each of these irradiance is most suitable for its particular solar technology. If you go to Morocco, they are well endowed with direct normal irradiance. That is the sun rays that is coming directly from the sun, not interfered by water particles or solid particles in the atmosphere. They are well endowed in that. And the best solar technology that can utilize that resource is concentrated solar power. And that is what Morocco is implementing. If you come to Ghana, by our geographical location, we are not as endowed in direct normal radiation or irradiance as in Morocco. We are endowed with diffuse horizontal irradiance. And with diffuse horizontal irradiance, the best technology that can be used to convert that into electricity or heat is solar PV.
According to him, all hope is not lost as the country continues to explore new solar technologies. At the moment, solar contributes only 0.1% to Ghana's installed energy capacity of 2,104.5 megawatts. Figures from the VRA shows that Ghana received nearly 2,377 hours of sunshine annually, equivalent to 3,960 million kilowatts per hour of energy. The figures also reveal that Ghana can generate 143 million units of solar annually, enough to service the annual power demand for the next 50 years.
Family and property are always exposed to different kinds of risks. Insurance is a tool which reduces the cause or loss or effect of loss caused by a variety of risk. It accumulates funds to meet individual losses. Mr. Justice Oforie, Director at the Ghana Insurance College, tells GBC24 that insurance is not a device to prevent unwanted events from happening, but acts as a protection against losses through the payment of compensations.
Insurance provides safety and security against the loss of a particular event. Life insurance provides security against death and old age sufferings. Fire insurance protects against loss due to fire, while marine insurance provides protection and safety against loss of a ship and cargo. For personal accident and sickness insurance, financial protection is given when the individual is unable to earn. According to experts, insurance removes the tensions, fears, anxiety, and frustrations associated with future uncertainty. However, there are a lot of misconceptions about insurance. Most people do not see the need to buy insurance policies, especially when they do not make any claims over a period. But a director at the Ghana Insurance College, Mr. Justice Oforie, says insurance is very crucial for every individual and companies.
Insurance is actually a necessity in life. There's nobody who is a Superman. Everybody will die. So the certainty of death is 100%. Everybody will die. So at least it's advisable that everyone should have some kind of life insurance so that should the unexpected happen, the dependents, especially the wife and kids, will have something to fall on.
Mr. Ofori said further that insurance policy offers more benefits than savings.
With insurance, you are paying a small fraction for a big reward. With the bank, all you get back is your deposit and your interest. So let's say you deposit 100,000 and you gain 25,000, you end up getting in interest, you end up getting 125,000. But with insurance, you can deposit, you can buy a premium of, let's say, 100,000, and the sum insured could be about $1 million. And you don't need to wait for your money to gain interest up to $1 million. You are entitled to $1 million immediately you experience the loss. Whereas in bank, you deposit your money today and you want to go for your money tomorrow, you're only entitled to the interest that has been accrued. But the insurance, if you deposit 10 cedis and the insurance company says you're entitled to 100,000, should the unfortunate happen even within a second after the policy has been issued, you're entitled to that money.
Insurance has evolved as a process of safeguarding the interest of people from loss and uncertainty. It may be described as a social device to reduce or eliminate risk of loss to life and property.
And that was insurance news brought to you by SIC Live.
We'll do some health now. The 3rd of October every year marks the National Blood Donor Day in Ghana. This year in Accra, the occasion was used to honor various organizations, religious institutions, and individuals who have consistently donated blood and also supported blood donor programs. The theme for this year's celebrations is Blood Connects Us All.
Blood donation plays a vital role in people's lives, as hundreds of patients in hospitals often rely on the generosity of voluntary blood donors to either recover or stay alive. The country's statistics show that only 40% of donated blood is from voluntary and paid donors. The rest is from family replacement donors, most of whom are actually not family members, but are paid secretly to donate. Ghana is far below the WHO standards in terms of blood collection index, which is 10 units of blood per 1,000 people. The National Blood Donor Day helps to create public awareness about blood donation. The Chief Executive of the National Blood Service, Dr. Justina Ansah, acknowledged the Rotary Club of Accra and Accra Reach for their continuous support to the celebration of National Blood Donor Day, which began in 2000.
We can achieve our current annual target of 250,000 units with all that is 100% coming from voluntary unpaid blood donors. If Ghanaians from all walks of life would accept voluntary blood donation as a civic responsibility, those who are unable to donate their blood can support the blood donor program, either in cash or kind, or as volunteers who would help to create a wider public awareness about blood donation and also recruit voluntary donors.
The Minister for Health, Mr. Alex Segbefia, launched the 2016 National Blood Donation Campaign.
I am reliably informed that out of the total of 73,000 units of blood collected from January to August this year, 43,000 units, 59% that is, came from family replacement donors. This indicates that 59% of these donors waited until their family members or friends needed blood before they decided to donate. But if we all decided to wait, how can we save the lives of patients who require urgent blood transfusion during emergencies?
Organizations and religious institutions that have supported blood donation exercises were honored for their commitment. Some individuals who have frequently donated their blood were also rewarded. Nana Bamfo Deborah was adjudged the overall national winner with a total of 53 units of blood donated.
An update from the world of sports. I'm Theophilus Sampa. The 18th edition of the Japan Ambassador Judo Open Championship has taken place in Accra. It served as the precursor to activities lined up for selecting and grooming judokas for the next Olympic Games set for Tokyo in 2020.
Judokers from all over the country participated in the 18th edition of the Japan Ambassador Judo Open Championship. The competition is kick-starting this year's Japan Week celebrations. The participants were categorized into the under 10 male and female, under 13 male and female, the under 17 male, men's minus 60 kilograms, men's minus 66 kilograms, men's minus 81 kilograms, and the men's minus 100 kilograms. The competition served as a Catch Them Young program for the Ghana Judo Association, which will be grooming a new generation of judokers for upcoming international championships, including the Commonwealth Games and the 2020 Tokyo Olympic Games. Judo, which is translated as the gentle way, teaches the principle of flexibility in the application of technique. This is the efficient use of balance, leverage, and movement. The skills, technique, and timing, rather than the use of brute strength, are the essential ingredients for success in judo. In the final of the under 10 boys category, Master Edward Mauli beats Charles Wiafi. In the girls under 10, Evelyn Jato beats Ramatu Sule. In the men's minus 66 kilograms, Idris Sando beats Dominic Agudo for the crown. Maxwell Gali also edged past Eliza Dodu for the gold in the men's minus 81 kilograms. Raymond Nomeshi beats David Gamble for the men's minus 100 kilogram. Prizes including medals and judogi, the formal Japanese name for the traditional uniform used for judo, were presented to the participants who excelled. The Japanese ambassador to Ghana, Mr. Kaoru Hoshimuru, was happy at the level of interest shown in the sport.
Those matches are very exciting, and Tokyo Olympic Games 2020 is now 4 years ahead, and we are expecting that many Ghanaian athletes, including Ghanaian judoka, will join.
President of the Ghana Judo Association, Mr. Emmanuel Tete, said talents have been identified.
Looking at the numbers of kids who participate today, everything will be okay when the necessary support comes in.
The Japan Week celebrations is organized every year by the Japan Embassy to celebrate and share Japanese culture with Ghanaians and people living in Ghana.
The Black Stars will kickstart their campaign for the 2018 World Cup qualifier against Uganda in Tamale on Friday. Ahead of the clash, a 23-man squad has been called.
The Black Stars will start training in Accra at the beginning of the week before flying out to Tamale as they prepare to face the Cranes of Uganda. The clash is the beginning of the 2018 World Cup qualifiers. The technical handlers have invited 23 players to prepare for the contest. This is how the squad is made up. Goalkeepers Razak Brima, Adam Kwarasi and Richard Ofori. The defenders are Harrison Affle, Daniel Amate, Jeffrey Schlupp, Barbara Mann, John Boy, Jonathan Mensah and Edwin Jima. The midfielders include Emmanuel Ajiman Bedu, Ifriye Akwa, Thomas Partey, Enoch Edukofi, Samuel Tete, Mubarak Wakasu, Frank Achampong, Christian Achu, and Gilbert Kumsen. The strikers are Asamoah Gyan, Jordan Ayew, Abdul Majid Waris, and David Akam. Inusa Musa of Hearts of Oak and Emmanuel Okran of WA All Stars have been invited to train with the Black Stars to be closely observed by the coach. Meanwhile, the squad will travel to face the Bafana Bafana of South Africa in an international friendly in Durban on Tuesday, October 11th, after the World Cup qualifier against Uganda.
Well, it's been an hour of news. Thanks so much for your time.
We'll bring you news tonight at 10:30. Good evening.